What is going on? Welcome to Heaven on Earth. I'm Michael, the Leo Mystic, and this is where I channel the sacred guidance for this astrological week of the 8th until the 14th of March. We have the chair back. It's gradually becoming more, lighter. The light is turning back. And so I was like, well, let's get this chair back because, you can't really do that in winter. It doesn't, in a way too, Leos, they don't really thrive in winter. So anyway, the 13th of March, which is next week, Saturday, we are starting with the Astrological course 101 to learn astrology from scratch. You can still join in, and it is promising to be super, super fun. If you want to understand your birth chart, if you want to understand more in depth these astrological forecasts, but just the energy in general, what the soul is, all these beautiful things, astronomy, and really not too complicated. We're going to experience it first and foremost. So join in. You can still do that, and it's 6 Saturdays straight every Saturday from 3 to 6 p.m. And see you there. Anyway, talking about heaven on earth, hello. We have Piscean energy all over the place and Aquarian energy. So if you think about it, these are the last two signs of the zodiac. And obviously, that means endings. So in a way, we are coming to an end. Now, the personal planets are coming to an end. Saturn and Jupiter are closing in and will be there for another, 2 to 4 years before they come into Aries and start all over again. But it is like an ending. Things are coming to an end. Chapters are closing of a year, and that we can feel. And at the same time, Sun conjuncting Neptune. We have so much Neptunian energy. Neptune is about timelessness. It is about truth in general. And there's actually 3 stages that Maurice Fernandez talks about, and I really find interesting. That is illusion, disillusionment, and spiritual maturity. And that quite summarizes what Neptune or the Pisces is all about, and what this week is going to be about, really. Illusions, meaning Neptune is it's the ultimate truth. It is that part that is way beyond our third dimension. And what's going on right now is very interesting. Saturn, the planet of boundaries and the traditions in the third dimension, squaring Uranus, which is the 5th dimension, which is actually, access that we get to timelessness in a way, and can wake us up to that. And Uranus is in Taurus. It is, waking people up at a very subconscious level. And I think waking up is a term that will happen this week. I don't think, it's going to be very shocking in a way. I mean, the new moon is semi-squaring Uranus, but that's going to be a cycle that's going to be there for 2 weeks to 6 months, where people are going to be, getting spiritual insights, waking up to the physical body, grounding spiritual insights into this third dimension, because it is squaring Saturn in Aquarius. And, so first and foremost, illusions, because when we keep fighting our fantasies, keep caught up in the polarity of good versus bad, we are in our mind, and our mind can figure out Neptunian stuff. So when we are trying to get control, we have to find out that we're not in control, and we lose control, and we might find out that what we were fighting for is actually an illusion. And that's what's going on. That's what's up. And that, is the beauty about that new moon in Pisces, which is about dreams, all right? So I do want to say this week is a very beautiful, inspiring, loving, caring, unconditional love, humanitarian week. It's a time to stand still. It's a time, and standing still, I don't mean stop working, right? I mean, it's a time to really appreciate. Appreciation is a big word here. To love, to care, to sweet talk, sweet loving, all these things. Beautiful, beautiful, romantic week. Art, paint, insights, intuition, meditate. And that's the thing, where disillusionment then, comes in, where we wake up. We see where we were fighting illusions, where we were chasing illusions, the illusion of that your money keeps being yours, or that your material things or the relationships, everything changes, the illusion that everything is permanent. That's what we're waking up to, because Saturn square Uranus, third dimension versus fifth dimension, all governing Aquarius and Capricorn, obviously. Well, not all, but Saturn is. But Saturn and Uranus are the co-ruler of Aquarius. And that's where Mercury, the moon, and which other planet is there? Jupiter is there, right? So this is really right brain expansion. This is insights. This is the visionary. This is future oriented. This is access to other dimensions, and this is where when we meditate, when we allow, when we surrender, when we have faith in the flow of life, into the unknown, that's where we create. So if we want to keep fighting for what we have, if we want to keep fighting for whatever, polarity, we're gonna keep being in that illusion. There will be a harsh disillusionment the next couple of 6 months for you. Obviously it is inevitable, because it's quite, these patterns, are very subconscious in a way too, but this is where allowing yourself to flow, allowing yourself to really take time, meditate, relax. That's when you discover, wow, life is really beautiful, and what the fuck are we all doing with this, stuff that's going on in the world? It's just an illusion. Time is an illusion. Space is an illusion. We're having deep insights into that, and we're getting a bird's eye view, big bird's eye view, and it's a gift in a way. It also is the caution when we do that too much. By Wednesday we have, is it Wednesday or is it Monday? Monday, Tuesday we have the moon conjunct Pluto. And that is quite a contrast. We got the sun conjunct Neptune, and Venus is there too a little bit. So Sun and Neptune, so the sun is obviously our energy and our vitality, and Neptune just kind of dissipates that. So there's not, the energy is beautiful, but it's fog. It's quite foggy, when there's, in the summer, after a cold night, the sun comes up and brings fog. That's what happens. And we're kind of like in this fog. And in a way it's beautiful, because you're like in between sleep-wake state, and this is like you're not fully aware of what's going on. But moon Pluto, those people who are who want to be in control, and who they want to keep fighting for the illusions, I think in a way, and in a third dimension way, they can take advantage of those people who are oh, what's going on? I don't know. Oh, what? They're putting a vaccine in my body? That's gorgeous, man. Just fucking do it. I don't care. And it's So that's kind of what's up. And I think that Moon and Pluto in a way too, it's grounding you back. It's like pulling you back. So it can have a very grounding effect, but still it's like from the very upconscious to the unconscious, and we're not really here. Moon and Pluto can take you here and can take you in a lot of fear. So it will trigger anxiety. It will trigger, feelings of restlessness, because if you want to be in control, that's what that moon brings. It's like that Moon in Pluto wants to be in control. It grounds you. It wants to like dive deep and be secretive. But Neptune, just kind of puts that fog. So you want to be in control here. It's just like, where is this going? I don't know. So it's kind of a scary moment if you're not able to deal with the unknown. But let's just keep it real, and let's just say that this is a lot of inspiration, a lot of beauty. Paint, take some time off, relax, and honestly, this week do that, because by Sunday, the Sunday Moon comes into Aries, and then we have a trine over to Mars in Gemini. That is a Kickstarter for 2.5 days. Whatever you want to do, fucking do it there, and you'll get massive shit done. And just like you can express it, there's power to your words. There's a little bit of aggression to your words too, in a way, but there's mutual reception between the Moon and Aries. So between the Moon and Mars, but I think we can sometimes take it a little bit too far, because Mercury in Aquarius, and I mean it's loose from Jupiter now, but it's gonna be in at the ending degrees right before it comes into Pisces. So whatever you want to communicate, whatever you want to write down, whatever you want to like, really the most practical possible in these moments. It's not very practical at all. It is just, very air-like, but at least you have some, Aryan, action-oriented Mars in Gemini with Mercury in Aquarius out of its shadow period. Then by next week, Mercury goes into Pisces, and that's its detriment, so that's like more confusion and not knowing what's up. And it's quite, hard lessons to learn about how to articulate and how to, really stay grounded. So it's beautiful. I'm not saying that it's art and it's poetry, but it can be quite unpractical, especially if you're still like in that third dimension, this versus that world. So, that new moon, as I already said, is going to be at 23 degrees Pisces. And well, that's very spiritual. It's very mature. And that's when we come to this spiritual maturity thing, where when we allow ourselves to, relax into it and go with the flow and, just seek for the best, have the best intention, and really do things for the greater good and hope and faith and love. I think there's a lot of humanitarianism. Is that a word? Humanitarian. You know what I mean, right? It's just, I think it's this Piscean energy. What a good excuse, right? Anyway, so humanitarianism, there you have it, is a thing that can come up, and there's beauty, there's love. This is ultimately group meditation. This is group meditation. This is connecting, feeling a deep sense of telepathy. Jesus, I can't talk anymore. Telepathy. Jesus, this is funny. Telepathic, energy. And beautiful. Really, really, really beautiful. I would enjoy it. This is you, very psychic, very understanding what other people are, having in their mind. I think that's what we're learning too with this being isolated from one another. Ideally, this energy brings, I think in Belgium too, we are being allowed. It sounds so crazy when you think about it. It's like, you can go play, kids. But anyway, we were able to gather with 10 people, and I loved it. So if you can, go in the park, sing some music, connect with these people, and I think these will be very beautiful times. This is like the 60s, you know, where they all took LSD and just like freaking... Anyway, the new moon in Pisces really is about setting in your dreams, your intentions into the world, your biggest dreams, your biggest aspirations. And I would, you know, really also meditate upon people reconciling, people just coming together, people loving each other, and sending that out into the world. And trust me, this Uranus and Taurus semi-square really is like, well, you know, are you doing it for the greater good, or are you going to keep fighting your illusions? And whatever you're doing here, you know, you'll receive that back tenfold. So what is it that you want to send out into the world? Uranus and Taurus with Venus reception, right? Is that mutual reception? It's not mutual reception, but there's reception, that meaning there's a good communication, because Venus, you know, rules Taurus, and Uranus is semi-squaring that Neptunian energy. And so these are gifts. These are gifts. Use them. These are gifts being given to you, because Venus in Pisces is so sweet and loving and beautiful. So let's enjoy that, and because, well, you know, when God or the universe gives us gifts, I think these times it's really nice to be able to enjoy them, because, well, it's not easy times. You know, it's the unknown. I think we have left a world behind that is never ever gonna come back. Whatever we knew, that's another thing, right? Jupiter in Aquarius is just like with Mercury there, it's discovering the future. It's like really, it's like, oh, okay, this is what it is, right? I get it. I really get it. And I think we're really getting that what this life is going to be about, which is the unknown, which is we don't know. And that's the only thing we know, and that's beautiful in a way. So that's where we gotta connect, light workers. We gotta connect. We have to show love. We have to, you know, keep faith. We have to create instead of losing ourselves in the third dimension. I mean, we gotta be in the third dimension, but not lose ourselves in the fight of the third dimension. In a way, I was listening to the Kybalion, which is, you know, a book, a Hermetic book, and by Hermes Trismegistus, a very esoteric book, and talking about the laws of the universe. And that it was funny because I hadn't listened to the book for about a year or so, but I just had a new phone, and you know, it synchronized stuff from 2 years ago, which is very interesting. And all of a sudden I was like, oh, let's download that Audible. Oh yeah, Kybalion, I just want to see where I'm at. And it was the last 15 seconds, and it said, well, man, I don't know the exact words, but man will always be, you know, succumbed. Is it succumbed? Man will always be having, there's always laws above mankind that he has to respect. But the laws on this plane, when you are a master, you're a fucking master, and you can master this plane. And this plane, the universe, is mental. So by using your mind, and obviously Hermes Trismegistus means by that, you know, bringing in alignment the heart and the mind. You can't just be mental. And I think that's where there's a lot of misconception from philosophers, where they were like, the universe is mental, and then we only focus on the mind, but we got to integrate everything. We just can manifest if we're in alignment, in attunement with the heart, with the universe, and then use the mind correctly. We can manifest whatever we want. And that's what we're learning here. Really, you can get what you want. On love, on wealth, like that's the law of this earthly plane, and you can master it. And that's, I think, where when you get lost in the third dimension and just get caught up here and not just fully integrate the body and not just listen to the soul and not just do things for a greater good, I think that's when you can lose it. And that's when you can get caught up in that, all mental, just that whole possession, greed, power, which is what's happening. But then realizing like it doesn't matter, right? Whatever doesn't matter will not materialize in your life, and you will always find a solution. Whatever, if you don't want to take a vaccine and you really believe that that's possible to live in this world, keep traveling, and just without having to take a vaccine and really going to shows, well, that is possible. You will always find a way. When you are a master of that plane, you can do whatever the fuck you want. And that's the law of this earthly plane. I got reminded of that, and that's the message for this week, honestly. I felt like this is for my forecast. I really need to say this. Thank you, God. All right? So here's to that, and here's that intention with this new moon. The earthly plane. Send that intention into the world, and God will come and save you because you are God, so you save yourself. Much love, Leo Mystic. See you next week. Peace.